Craig DeLeo here, hoping to run for your Georgia Ninth. And I follow a lot of, a lot of things that the average American doesn't. And I listen to a lot of our political leaders and follow a lot of their coverage when it comes to their news reports and their press conferences. And one of the things that I heard the other day was one of our leaders talking about what it looks like when we bring back one of these deportees from wherever we deported them to back to America after we've deported them. And I was thinking about this and reflecting on this, and I came to a wonderful conclusion that I, as a former legal clerk for the federal government, came to the realization, and that was the fact of there is distinct and obvious proof that we, as the government, violated their rights. We violated procedural rights, notification rights, and all these wonderful things when we did deport these people. And this to me was the problem. Whether or not whatever their status is not relevant to part of the discussion. We still have proper procedural rights. Now, do I agree or disagree with the fact that they've inherited a problem? Absolutely. I agree they've inherited a problem, but the problem is we still need to follow correct policies and procedures in the process. And this is my burn, is the fact of when I came back to America as a child, I was raised predominantly in the later half, outside of elementary school, was raised in the American school system. And one of the things that we always touted growing up was the fact of we are a country raised on the rule of law. Above all things, we are a country based upon the rule of law. And I feel like in my lifetime, I've watched this concept be absolutely destroyed. And the fact of when we look at PPACA, what many people call Obamacare, which I will admit fully I don't like. It's Patient Privacy Affordable Care Act. Our congressional leaders and our political leaders get to bypass this law. They're exempt from this law. I don't agree with this. The point of our Constitution is the fact of no individual is exempt from the law. That's the point. In other countries where they have a monarchy, or a dictator, these individuals are above the law. And this is the problem, is with the fact of insider trading is acceptable when it comes to our political leaders. This is not acceptable. These policies need to be changed with the fact of everybody is within the rule of law. This is one of my burns that I've come to notice as I've grown older and grown up, is the fact of I feel like our concept of the rule of law has been degraded. And this is where I go back to the shipmate. We need to do better. We, as a individual that is sworn an oath to serve the people, to protect and defend the Constitution, we need to hold ourselves to a different standard. This is a concept that the Marine Corps with Chesty Puller. Yep. I heard all of you Marines right there. I heard all of you guys. I heard all of you shipmates with the Chesty Puller comment. I know. We need to hold ourselves to a different standard as oath takers, to a different standard. And again, if you don't want to, that's fine. We'll come for you. We will find someone who will uphold those oaths and hold themselves to a different standard, because there are individuals that will. And that's the point. I want to bring the people who will uphold the will of the public and the Constitution and uphold their oaths in those offices. Because guess what? It's a spot of public trust. It's a spot where you are to hold yourself to a standard above everybody else. And this is where I'm at. And again, I'm Craig DeLeo. I'm hoping to run for your Georgia Ninth. And again, I hope to hear more from you guys. Again, I love all my shipmates. I hope, and again, one of these days I'm actually going to explain what that means, because you're going to start hearing me more and more, because it's a natural phrase to me, and it's done out of love. And one of these days I'll do a video explaining what the word shipmate means, because it's something outside of my Navy and Marine Corps friends and my shipmates. They don't necessarily understand it, and I'm going to explain that one of these days. But again, I love all my shipmates. I love all of you, and I hope to hear more from you guys. Have a great day.